Welcome back to the channel. In the previous episode of Spiritually Conscious Soul 101, I discussed the revelation of highly advanced secret space programs and how we have come to know about them. I gave full attribution to the research work done by Dr. Michael Sala of the Exopolitics Organization, and I ask all my viewers to support this work by signing up for the newsletter that Exopolitics provides and purchasing the many books that Dr. Sala has authored on the subject of these space programs. In today's talk, I'm going to continue with this subject, and I will allude to Dr. Sala's groundbreaking work again as I discuss the origin of the secret space program idea and also the beings and institutions behind its emergence. I'll only disclose a skeleton version of events that led up to the disclosure of these programs. When I published my book, The Extraterrestrial Phenomenon, a post-disclosure blueprint, I wrote Dr. Sala to ask for permission to use his research, and he very kindly acquiesced to a limited use of the details in his books. I therefore honor that limited use request with full attribution to his amazing work. Other authors who do similar research are nowhere near as generous. I also find that Dr. Sala makes his webinars and podcasts very affordable for those who follow the exopolitics angle. Not so with other information providers who are famous for offering free webinars that inform very little about the subject and are specifically designed to draw you into their programs for which you pay an arm and a leg. So kudos to Dr. Sala. He generally wants people to know about the subjects he researches and makes sure that followers of his work get more than they pay for. In Dr. Sala's book, Insiders Reveal Secret Space Programs and Extraterrestrial Alliances, there are extensive pointers to the emergence of the secret space programs. The book is a treasure trove of information, and as I previously mentioned, my talk today will only cover a limited skeleton of what you will find in this comprehensively researched subject. Please purchase this book as it will tell you all you need to know about the programs and the ET alliances that have been formed, some friendly to our cause and others nefarious and infamous with the enslavement of humanity in mind. I begin this interesting saga of events in the early 20th century with the formation of the Vril Society by Maria Orsic, a mysterious and prominent psychic, who starts the ball rolling with her group of fellow lady psychics who together channeled a group of beings who belonged to an ancient breakaway civilization and who were pretending to be ETs from the Aldebaran star system. This information came through insider Corey Goode, who was at the time in good standing with the disclosure movement. Maria Orsic and her ladies received technical specifications of a propulsion system for a model of a flying saucer that would later find its way into secret production by the Nazi war machine. The technical specs were perused by Dr. Winfried Otto Schumann, a professor of physics who earned his doctorate with the inclusion of high-voltage technology as the apex of his unique qualifications. Professor Schumann confirmed the viability of the technical details and was instrumental in the development of the sources that eventually evolved from the program. Prior to the 1920s, the Thule Society, a secret association of German aristocrats, which in the 1930s sponsored the German Workers' Party that was responsible for the rise of Hitler to the chancellery and his ultimate position as the Führer of the Nazi regime in Germany. I should also mention at this point that Italy established its own secret space program in collaboration with the Nazis, and it is thought that Mussolini picked up on a crashed saucer that might have been the legacy of a failed Nazi program test flight. On behalf of the Nazi program, the flying saucers were developed throughout Dr. Schumann's intervention in the 1920s up to 1934 with the involvement of Heinrich Himmler, who changed the purpose of the program from investigative research to weaponization of sources for use in Hitler's war machine. Fortunately, the program did not succeed with its weaponizing by the end of World War II, or the outcome of Hitler's quest to dominate the world would have ended quite differently. Operation Paperclip followed Hitler's defeat at the end of the Nazi war era. Operation Paperclip involved all the scientists involved with the secret space program who were transferred from Germany to the US. This provided a monumental boost to the US in its ambition to start its own space program, and was to be the forerunner of NASA and SpaceX programs that are today the spearhead in the current drive for the future exploration of our solar system. After Hitler's defeat in 1944, the secret space program was whisked out of Germany to Antarctica, where it would continue to evolve its weaponization program under the supervision of General Hans Kammler. After the successful outcome of adding weapons to the sources, the Antarctic Initiative remained in secrecy, the outcome of collaboration with its ET overlords who wanted to use a saucer space force in a future uprising against humanity as a Fourth Reich deep state initiative. In 1947, however, Rear Admiral Richard Byrd led a task force of ships to wrest Antarctica from its Nazi occupation. But this quest was utterly defeated by the Nazi flying saucers that had been fully weaponized. Rear Admiral Byrd escaped with about a third of the original force with which he had hoped to defeat the Nazis. No further attempt was made to nationalize Antarctica, and the Nazis continued in their involvement with what is called the Dark Fleet, an Orion-led war effort in other parts of the galaxy. There is much mystery that is waiting to be revealed on the continent of Antarctica, and we have reached the time of these revelations. Underground civilizations, the fossils of strange creatures, the skulls of extraterrestrials who were dominant powers in ancient times, pyramids and structures, what we believe is a space ark that is starting to awaken to fulfill its destiny. JP, currently serving in the US Army and with the ability to travel in the astral, plus the DNA to access other dimensional realities, has been on various missions where he has been able to witness the space ark phenomena. This is the time of our destiny. It is the time when we as aspirant new Earth souls are on the cusp of realizing our full purpose as to why we incarnated onto planet Earth at this particular juncture, and are to be recipients of the fourth density harvest and ascension. Don't forget to join the exopolitics revolution, and please purchase Dr. Sala's book, Insiders Reveal Secret Space Programs and Extraterrestrial Alliances. Well, that's all we have time for in today's presentation, but before we close, please remember to hit the thumbs up and subscribe buttons below, and thank you for watching my channel. Be sure to catch up with the latest material on the next viewing of Spiritually Conscious Soul 101.